All right, so this is a quick tips and tricks lecture for in-class exercise 5, the exercise on dimensioning. Remember on this exercise, I gave you two sort of pre-drawn files, and the idea was to annotate them and produce PDFs as a result. So remember, whenever you upload, you're going to upload a total of 4 files. You're going to upload for each problem the drawing file and the PDF. So there's going to be 2 drawing files, one for problem 1, one for problem 2, and 2 PDFs, one for problem 1 and problem 2. So there's going to be a total of 4 files. So when you drag and drop, make sure and drag all 4. Just in terms of housekeeping, assignment 7. So at the time that we had class, it was being graded, but my TAs informed me this morning that they've got assignment 7 finished, and so those grades should be posted. I'll have attendance grades updated probably by either the end of the day or I'll do that this weekend. So they'll be up to date by the time we have class on Monday. What I want to do now, just make sure that you recognize that this assignment's due Monday at 5 p.m. and then we're going to have homework 9 that's going to be due Friday at 5 p.m., Friday, March 14th. So 2 more assignments before spring break, one due Monday, March 10th at 5 p.m., one due Friday, March 14th at 5 p.m. Okay, so here is assignment 8. And so a couple things, just make sure that you're paying attention to the layer creation, text style, and really the dimension style instructions for each problem. They are different from problem to problem. Problem number 1 is sort of a floor plan of a house type vignette. So here's sort of what it looks like. And so the way the dimensions are going to be placed, the font and whatnot is a little different. And then problem 2 is a little bit more on the mechanical side of things. If this is more civil, this is maybe be a little bit more mechanical. One thing I want to point you to are some notes and guidance and whatnot. So on problem 1, so there's 2 things I should mention on problem 1. So number 1, if you get this warning right here that says the annotation scale is not equal to the plot scale, do you want to continue? And that's at the very end when you're plotting to PDF. That's totally fine. So long story short, what we're doing with problem 1 is the purpose of the assignment is really just to get comfortable with placing annotations and dimensions. Dimensions. So we really didn't mess with annotation scales. We just really messed with the dimension formatting and whatnot. And so this is just AutoCAD's way of saying that that the scales are a little bit off, but it doesn't really matter because the settings that are present right here will generate everything to the proper size. So you don't need to worry about that warning. This was on purpose to have this plotted to grayscale. So if the dimensions show up a little light on your PDF for problem 1, that's okay. Don't worry about that. Remember, you're submitting the drawing and the PDF. So if the dimensions are a little light on the PDF, don't worry. Problem 2 is probably the one, though, that has the most technical questions. And so there were 2 common questions that showed up in class. So I will go through those here. So the first is the notion of doing this typical dimension. Okay, so let's just delete it. Okay, so if I want to annotate this, let's say I want to annotate with a diameter, I can click the arc and place that, right here. First off, I got to make sure I put it on the right layer. So in this case, what I'll do is change this to the dimensions layer. So that's pretty easy. But if you notice, it's supposed to have this typical, and it doesn't, okay? It's a really easy fix. All you have to do is just double click, and then it's almost like you're editing the text and whatnot. Now, what you want to do is move the cursor over to the very right. So I'm just using the arrow keys, and then you can start typing. Oh. Okay, and so you'll notice here what's happening is the diameter 0.5 is sort of retaining this sort of blue lavender highlight, and then the text over here is not. So basically what AutoCAD is doing is it's indicating the difference between static text and dynamic text. So this typical that I've written here, that's sort of referred to as static, and the highlighted text is dynamic. Easiest way to explain that is, for example, if I were to take this and sort of, change the diameter, notice how if I go back to the dimension, the dynamic text, the one that referenced the numerical value for the diameter, it updated, but the typical did not. So that's sort of the difference, what I mean by static and dynamic text. So again, all you have to do is just double click and TYP, and that's all there is to it. The other thing that was that got brought up a lot is sort of like this part up here and how to move the text and whatnot. And so I'll show you, for example, on this dimension right here. So I have here a dimension and I have the 0.75 and the text is located in the middle of the 2 dimension lines. So if I select that, here you can see this, and you can see a number of these blue squares that are being shown for grip editing. Now, grip editing can do a number of things. I can take this and move it up. I can, move it down. I can also grab the text and move it out here, okay? And so that's pretty straightforward, okay? So, for example, if you go to this dimension, one of them, the text is in the middle. One of them, the text is on the outside. And how do you do that? You just use grip editing. Again, for this assignment, I'm not going to get hyper focused on the dimensions being exactly where they are. They just need to be clear, and you need to include all of them. So as long as you include all of the dimensions and you include them in a clear fashion, then it should be a pretty straightforward exercise. And that's pretty much the bulk of all the questions that we had in class. Don't forget that if you need to edit the dimension styles, the lines, the symbols and arrows and all that, it's dim style. And that brings up the dialog box, and you can start modifying from there. There's the lines tab, the symbols and arrows tab, text tab, primary units, all that. Should be pretty straightforward. And that's all I have, and I will see you all next week.